Hi, today we have Pilates to work the core, especially for anyone with lower back or neck pain, with plenty of modifications and challenges for when you're ready. Starting off lying on the mat, we're going to breathe out and tilt that pelvis, pulling the hips up towards the ribs. As you breathe in, let those hips relax down to their normal position. Breathing out, pushing the lower back down into the mat. Breathing in, letting it release away. Just finding that movement with your tailbone into your pelvis here and starting to engage that core gently. Relaxing into a neutral position, bringing our legs up into tabletop one at a time, knees over hips. Taking the arms back behind the head. As you breathe out, you're going to reach those arms forward, down towards your heels. Connecting to the core as you breathe out, pulling the navel down towards the spine. Remembering that hip to rib connection, feeling as if you're zipping up a pair of tight jeans or pulling a belt to about the 3rd out of 10 notches. Connecting the breath out through the mouth to bringing those arms down. To make it harder, as you breathe out and bring those arms down, straighten your legs out, making sure that the lower back does not lift off the mat. If it does, stay with level 1 with your legs in tabletop. Lovely, just a couple more here. And for our final option, as you breathe out, you're tucking the chin, keeping that lower back down, and bringing the head up so that the gaze comes to look at the belly button. Now the aim when we lift our head off the mat is to use the core, not the neck muscles. So if your core isn't ready yet and you feel the strain in your neck, do keep that head on the ground or on a small pillow. We're going to go for our hundreds, so we're breathing in to pulse the hands for 5, breathing out to pulse for 5. Level 1, keeping the legs in tabletop. Level 2, those legs are extended at a diagonal angle, heels together, toes apart, remembering to keep that belly button tucked in. Level 3, when you're ready, lifting that head up off the mat, gaze on the belly button, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. You are almost there. Remember, you can always bring it back a level if you need to. Go gently with this. You don't want any strain on the neck or strain on the lower back. You will get stronger the more you do it. Dropping those legs a little bit lower for these final few if you can. Keeping that core engaged. And gently hugging those knees into the chest. And rocking from side to massage that spine down into the mat. Taking our legs back into tabletop, knees just over hips, we're going for our toe taps. So this is a great one to strengthen the lower abdominals. You're keeping the leg at exactly the same angle and moving from the hip to lower the toes down to the ground. You want to feel this in the stomach region. You don't want the lower back to lift off the ground. If it does start to lift, make the movement a little bit smaller. The toes don't need to go all the way down. Now you can stay with this level, or when you're ready, you go for those double toe taps, taking both legs down at once. Our legs are heavy, so this is an advanced level. The second you feel your lower back lifting up off the mat, take it halfway like I'm demonstrating here, or go back to your single leg toe taps. Strengthening the core is a great way to strengthen the back, so it's important to do these movements, just staying at the beginner level until you're ready to progress. Keep connecting to that breath with these exercises, reminding ourselves to breathe out during the hard part. We're going to go for our single leg stretch next. So we're hugging one knee into the chest as we extend the other leg away, breathing out for 2 little pulses, breathing in to swap those legs round. This is a great one to stretch through the leg whilst also strengthening the core. Trying to draw straight lines with your heels, so working on the alignment of those legs. This is a great exercise for runners, walkers, anyone who uses those legs and needs to make sure that our muscles are equally aligned through the inside and outside of the leg. Level 2, we're lifting that head up and speeding it up a little bit, breathing out to hug that leg in, breathing in to extend. Remembering that breath out is your chance to connect to that core, pulling the navel in towards the spine, wrapping that imaginary belt around the waist. Gently releasing down here, hammocking the hands underneath the base of the skull for support, and lifting the legs up towards the sky. We're going to go for our single leg drops here, keeping the legs as straight as you can, the lower back down on the mat, breathing out as you drop the leg, breathing in as you lift. Now if you really feel like your lower back is lifting off the mat here, you can always take the hands underneath your tailbone to slightly elevate that pelvis, and that will help support the movement while you gently strengthen that core. Like I said, those legs are heavy, just a few more. And hugging those legs towards you, straightening through the backs of the legs as much as you can, and gently releasing down. Hugging one knee into the chest here. We're going to extend that leg up towards the sky. Just point and flex those toes a few times, getting the leg as straight as you can, pulling it in slightly towards your chest. Swapping to the other side, hugging the knee in first to stretch through the hip, and then extending that leg upwards, stretching through the hamstring. So tight lower backs are often linked to tight hips, tight hamstrings, so it's so important to keep stretching. Now we're going to add strength to the movement, scissoring our legs through the air. If the back of your legs is tight, please do keep a slight bend through the knees like I'm demonstrating here. And if the neck is tight, we're keeping the head down on the mat. If you have the flexibility, you can hold on to the calf instead of the thigh, but just make sure you're not holding on behind the knee because our leg joints are delicate. Breathing out as you hug that leg towards you, breathing in as you swap. Level 2, lifting the head and speeding up that movement, trying to keep our legs as straight as possible, our lower back down on the ground, and our core connected. Lovely, hugging in those legs again, getting them a little straighter, and then gently releasing down onto the mat. We're going to take our arms out into a T position. Our legs are in our tabletop position. Breathing out to drop the knees towards one side, breathing into center, breathing out to twist to the other side. A really great one to loosen up into the lower back whilst also twisting and therefore strengthening into the waist. We're only dropping those knees as low as we can without feeling like we're dropping and losing control. So making sure that both shoulders are staying down on that mat and you're connecting the twist to the breath. Level 2 on this next one, straighten those legs out and flex the feet. Breathing in to swap on a fold, breathing out to lengthen and flex. Breathing into center, breathing out, lengthen and flex. Breathing into the middle and breathing out to lengthen and flex. So the lengthening here is great to work on those hamstrings. It also makes the exercise a little bit harder because the straightened legs are more for your core to hold on to. Level 3, those legs stay straight and toes are pointed until you come as low as you can, and then you flex the feet. Imagine that your toes are drawing the bottom half of a smiley face there, so lifting on the sides and dropping slightly at center to work into those lower abdominals. Lovely, gently relaxing those knees into the chest, giving them a little hug. Bringing one hand to each knee and gently circling those hips in their sockets. Swapping directions with our hip circles here, just keeping the mobility of our joints. Extending just the right leg up to the sky. We're going in for our hip circles, so the leg is as straight as you can. Breathing in to draw half a circle with your toes, breathing out for the other half. Again, we're moving through the hip here, so make sure that the knee stays straight and the ankle stays straight. Swapping directions, keeping the connection between our hips and our ribs, and making sure that our hips aren't wiggling around. We don't want any hula dancing here. So if you do feel that, bring the hands to the hips. Just hold on to yourself a little bit, making the movement a little bit smaller. Swapping to the other side, breathing in for half the circle, breathing out for the other half. To challenge yourself and make it harder, make those circles bigger, but remember, technique is more important than jumping to the hardest level. Swapping directions. And gently relaxing that leg down. bringing our legs back up into tabletop, we're going to twist the knees all the way to one side of the body, keeping our shoulders down, turning the head to look towards the opposite side to stretch the neck. Nice deep breaths here. Don't push it too far, but with every breath out, just release into it a little bit more, stretching through the lower back, through the hips, and through the glutes. If you want to, you can extend that top leg out, pointing and flexing the toes. Dropping to the other side of the body, and again, turning the head to look in the opposite direction, keeping our shoulders down on the ground. You can use your top hand to gently pull that knee towards the mat, but again, be slow and gentle with it. You can extend that top leg out, pointing and flexing the toe if you want to. Taking one more deep breath here, and then coming back into center. Extending our legs out, relaxing the body down into the mat, taking a few nice deep breaths, stretching the arms up over the head, feeling those abs stretch, feeling any difference from before your practice, and continue practicing this so you can feel the benefits. Thanks very much, and I hope to see you soon.